And there's another effect of Barry, the rough surf. Most of our beaches are down to single red flags today, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's time to get back in the water.
The surf has calmed, but there is a high risk of rip currents. Volunteers with the Fort Morgan Fire Rescue spending the day patrolling the beach and warning people of those risks.
Our Baldwin County reporter Hal Sherrick went along for the ride. Take a look.
We still have high rip currents today, so you guys be careful. If you go in the water, don't go out deep, okay?
For the 5th day in a row, Fort Morgan Fire Rescue volunteers hit the beach, hoping to keep people safe. Warning signs along Fort Morgan Road continue to flash with high rip current risk warnings. Between the visible signs and the one-on-one interactions, safety officials here say there have been no drownings so far this year.
Fortunately, no, not through this storm and this session, and not even this year. We've been very, very fortunate, and I think our active beach patrols have reflect that.
Volunteers have 11 miles of Gulf Beach to patrol, and there have been challenges. After 4 days of closed waters, swimming was allowed today. The sunny skies and relaxed surf were welcomed by visitors, but the big concern today was the continued risk of strong rip currents.
The threat on today is the waves aren't so large, it's not really visible and present to you, but the rip currents, unless you're trained to spot them, are very, very difficult to spot. So if you don't live in this area, you're not very, very familiar with them, you're not going to know that water's ready to pull you out.
Those who volunteers stopped to talk with were happy to see them and appreciated the sound advice.
Hey, we just wanted to remind you we still have high rip current. I know on the more crowded beaches they have the flags up, and since there's not flags here, it's nice to have a face telling you what's safe and what's not.
Yeah, I'm glad to see them doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Seen them, what, 2-3 times already this morning, riding up and down the beach, watching over us.
Fort Morgan Fire Rescue did respond to one call for a swimmer in distress. That was towards the west end earlier today. Fortunately, that swimmer was able to make it back to the beach safely. Reporting live in Fort Morgan, Hal Sherrick, Fox 10 News.